Hello and welcome to day 11 of my 12/12 birthday countdown. It's your girl, Dr. Tay, and I'm excited to share today's golden rule. So it's not all about me. And this is something that I often tell myself if I find myself feeling certain kinds of tensions from others that really may have absolutely nothing to do with me. And so just to give you a little bit of backstory, so I'm someone who would consider myself to be an empath. And when I was younger, I really didn't have a name for it. I just knew that I could just sense or feel what other people were feeling. I would feel tension. And because I didn't really know what it was, I would often feel like it was directed towards me or that maybe I was the cause. And so as a result, I found myself having some very unhealthy people-pleasing habits of trying to figure out what was wrong and how could I improve it, and just sort of going through all of these hoops and bounds to figure out where this tension was coming from. And it wasn't until probably sometime in my late 20s, early 30s that I realized that it really has nothing to do with me. Whatever energy I may be feeling from someone may have absolutely nothing to do with me and everything to do with them. And that's not to say that there aren't moments when maybe I do strike certain emotions or reactions from people, and in those moments I certainly invite conversation around it. But in those moments where maybe they're not being so forthcoming about what may be bothering them, I had to eventually learn that whatever that thing is has absolutely nothing to do with me. And it may be something that they just may need to work through. And so rather than making everything about me and, how I could have possibly created this sort of reaction, I could just take a step back and say, you know what? They just need some time or they just need some distance. And so the best thing I can do, instead of jumping through all of these hoops and bounds to, appease them, is just take a step back and allow them to experience, feel whatever it is that they need to process. So aside from dealing with loved ones, there are other times where maybe we may all make that mistake of assuming someone is upset about us. And I would say probably the most frequent example of this is when we may be dealing with people who are in the service industry. So whether it be customer service or, someone who's a barista at the coffee shop or, a waitress at a restaurant, whatever the case may be. And, we may be feeling certain tension from them, maybe, they just don't seem to be very attentive to us, or they seem to have a little bit of an attitude. And I feel very often we may perceive that as oh, they have an issue with us. They have an issue with the way that I ordered my food, or they have an issue with the fact that I didn't give them a tip, or whatever the situation may be. And 9 times out of 10, it may just be something that's related to them that happened before we even stepped into the establishment, or something that happened with them before we even made that phone call. So rather than getting equally frustrated with them, I try to take a step back and just say, you know what? Maybe they're just having a bad day. Or maybe they had to deal with someone who was irate and being disrespectful. Or maybe someone tried to take advantage of them, when they were ordering previously. And so they're just sort of feeling that and need to work through it. And so the best thing I can do, again, is just take a step back and just say thank you and move on without worrying too much about it. Because again, it's not all about me. It really has everything to do with whatever they may be experiencing. Okay? So that is golden rule number 11. I hope that this message was helpful, and I hope that you have a lovely day tomorrow. It will be my birthday, and I will be sharing my very last video with you. So until then, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you then. Hey, thank you so much for listening to my video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe below. Also, I have some other recommended videos for you to check out over here. All right, thanks a lot and have a great day.